Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. I hope you're enjoying this week of run up to Christmas. It's so close, isn't it? But in the meantime, we still have crafting to do. Well, I know I do. And it's been a while since I've done a Roxy's Weekly Challenge. Just with one thing or another, I busied myself up well and truly. So now I'm going to duck back and do a weekly challenge from Roxy Creations. It's actually the last one that she did, so number 50 in her series, and I thought I've got some stuff I can use for it. Let's just jump in and do this one. So I'm using just a few print off pages of my own digitals that I had sitting around. So I've already cut this one to size, I've cut this one to size. This is one that actually fed through my printer, and my printer had issues and it had black splotches all over it, and all I've got left is, after trimming off the excess, is just these few dots, so that's fine. And then this one, all I've done so far is just trim off the white. So let's get into it. These are kind of a transparent envelope, I think is what Rachel's calling them. So first off, they need to be the width to either go in a pocket or fit on a page, behind a belly band, that sort of thing. So I don't want to do the full width of these papers. So I'm going to trim off a bit like I already have with the other two. I'm just going to fold it to where I think I want it and put it into my guillotine here and give it a chop. So I hope you're all doing well. I'm getting there, which is very much a relief. I'm feeling more and more normal, although I'm definitely not normal yet. But, you know, these things take time. I'm just pleased that I'm feeling up to doing something. Right, so I've got 3. I thought I'm probably not going to get any more than 3 done. You know me, I'm not the world's fastest crafter here. So I thought if I get 3 done, this page is already a bit sticky, so I'm just going to get rid of that one. What was I saying? I've distracted myself. Yep, my head is still not functioning 100%, although you might think, well, that's just normal actually. So first off, we're going to glue these halves together. So just spread around a bit of glue stick. So transparent envelopes, I think, yeah. So vellum is the other ingredient that we're using here, and I actually found my stash of vellum. It's not something I've ever bought, but I've been gifted some. So I pulled that out, and it's patterned vellum, so that's okay, I don't mind. I've been reluctant to use it. I've used little bits here and there, but reluctant to use it because it's not something I generally buy. And when I did look at it in the stationery shop, I was like, gosh, that's not cheap. So not the one I was looking at anyway, and it was just a plain A4 sheets of vellum. I thought, yeah, no, I can live without it actually. But since I've got this, I might as well play with what I've been generously given. And it was given to me by a lady, about 3 years ago now, who was moving house and didn't want to take everything with her. And so she passed on a few craft supplies, a lot of punches, craft punches, which I've pulled out every now and then. You would have seen those if you've been watching my channel for a while. And I was part of an arts collective at the time, so she passed them on to us. And then when we closed down the building that we were running the arts collective out of, I was the crafter of the bunch, so I got to keep the goodies that were more craft related than art related. So that's where this vellum I'm using comes from. So it'll be good, you know, 3 years hanging around my space. It's be good to put it to use, won't it? And I definitely won't be using all of it. Right, so they're all glued together. These two are actually on presentation paper, so they're quite thick anyway. This bit was on photocopy paper. This is out of my most recent kit, December Days, or Joyous December Days actually. And I didn't quite get that corner, so oops, just go back in there and put a bit more glue on. There we go. So that's the first stage. Second stage, well, first stage was cutting out your papers, cutting them to size. Second stage is folding them and gluing them. Third stage then that we're up to, I'll do them in order just to make sure the glue is dry, is work out which way around you would like them. So we're going to be folding the top down, and that will be on the front. So have a think about what's going to show, whether you want upside down flowers like here, which would be fine, wouldn't upset me, or whether you want, in this case, a window. Gee, my gluing is shocking. Let's just tidy that up a little bit. Maybe I'll go in with tacky glue actually. So I won't need that. Just go in here and this will take care of it. Shocking gluing. Too much talking, not enough gluing, obviously. I am still throaty, so excuse me if I cough or clear my throat or that sort of thing. Or take a sip of my drink just to keep myself lubricated, which hopefully will stop me being too throaty. So this one I thought I wanted folded this way. So I'm just going to fold that way. This one I hadn't actually decided, or yes I had. I thought I'd have the pig on the front, and therefore the top folded down would be plain, so we can decorate up the tops if we have time. And I'm going to have to do a bit of trimming because I can see where things aren't meeting properly, and that's all good. I think Rachel did trimming on hers as well once she'd folded them. And this one doesn't really matter which way round it goes. I think either way it's gonna be fine, so we'll just do it this way. So that's the third stage, easy peasy. Right, the fourth stage is where we're heading into the vellum. So I mentioned that my vellum is patterned. So we've got stripes, all in gold. I've used a page of that already and a page of this already. So I've got one of each of these, the swirly one, which I love. And then I've got 2 pages of this, it's 2 little lines. Kind of reminds me of coffee beans actually for some reason. I don't know why. So I've got 2 of that. So let's start with one of that. And which way round will it be best to do? I can get 2 out of that if I do it that way round. Okay. So just lift up the flap so you can see what I'm doing. So we don't want to take it right up to the fold line. We want to take it a wee way down. I think, just going to trim this in half. So I don't end up using too much on one and then not leaving myself enough to do another one with. Is that going to fit? Yes, it's going to fit. Yay. I'm just going to cut it in half. Like so. Okay. So we'll do 2 in this pattern. So we want to leave an overhang on each side. And actually, I think I'll use my guillotine again just to work out if I cut it about there. So some fun scraps of vellum will be made during this. Okay, so something like that. So you've got an overhang because this is going to be wrapped around. And I am going to fold one side in first. Rachel did discover that it's easier to fold one side in first and just gives an anchor point while you do the rest. So slide that over there in place. And then you've got like something you can pull against so it's nice and snug. And I thought that was a pretty good idea. Yeah. And at the bottom as well. Just like that. Okay. Okay, now we can slide it off and trim out those corners just to remove some of the bulk. So again, just I say again, it's the first time I've done it in this video, cutting in towards that center of the fold, of where the two folds meet, on a slight angle. Like so. And then that fits back on there. Just double checking that it all works well, and there we go. So those get either glued down or stuck down, however you'd like to stick them down. And then a hole in the top, well, not a hole but a divot, a semicircle for your thumb notch. Oh, and my punch doesn't like the vellum. Okay, maybe over the Christmas break I will actually get round to sharpening it. Give it a treat, give it a Christmas present of a sharpen. Taking a poll now, what are the chances that I'll actually sharpen my punch? Any odds, good odds. Right. Now Rachel on her prototype used double-sided tape, and on the one she did on camera she used glue stick. I don't think I would risk glue stick. I would be suspect that it wouldn't hold. So I would either use tacky glue or double-sided tape. For this one, I'm going to use double-sided tape. One, because I think it's actually going to be easier and hold well. And I want to see the look of it. Whether it's, you know, whether I like the look of it on the back side. And the way to do that is to actually do it so I can see whether it's like really visible or, you know. So it does give an extra layer. It is visible, but I think it's okay. I'm actually okay with that. And it's certainly easy and not messy. Oops, that wasn't very straight, but never mind. And of course you can write in between, depending on what paper you're using. And you don't have to use digital, you could use book page or whatever you like. But depending on the pattern, you could write or you could decorate this space in between the vellum. So now we'll do the bottom. Doing well this video so far. I've said backside and bottom. Anyone see a theme going on here? Sometimes you say things and you hear them coming out your mouth and you go, Right, so there we go. So there we have a cute little transparent envelope to tuck into a journal. Oh, the other thing, the final step, well, not really the final stage, is to angle these, which is what Rachel did. Again, just personal preference. It's not something you need to do if you don't want to. Just angle there. And then she also gave them a little snip here, which I'm going to do too, just because. So I haven't thought of a way to vary these. I was just like, right, I'm going to make some. I'm going to turn the camera on. This is what I'm doing. But I hadn't actually thought through as to whether I could come up with any, startling ways of doing them differently. Apart from, I guess, I'm using the patterned vellum. And you can still see the design in behind when it's empty, but the idea is to pop a journal card or tag or something inside it. So that's really pretty. I like that. I don't know about distressing it, but I do have some white showing. So I'm just going to give it a wee trim on that edge, just to tidy up where that white is showing. And so I'll decide, I think, when I'm using them as to whether I distress it or not. But I think that's super cute. Yay. I love it. I actually love it a lot more than I was anticipating. I was like, oh yeah, they look fun. I'll give them a go. And actually, they're really fun. I love them. I love the look. I love the feel. I love the result. So where's our other bit? Here's our other bit. Which one do we want to put this on? This one or this one? I think I want it on this one. So again, just going to trim off that excess vellum. There. So you can vary the size of them, make them different widths. This one's quite wide, this one is a bit narrower, and then this one, how wide was this one? This one's kind of in between the other two in width, just by not a lot. Right, so let's start by folding one edge over. That was a brilliant move from Rachel to work that one out, to fold one edge over first. Just makes it easier then to do the rest. Oops, come here. They do have a really nice feel. So yeah, I'm happy with that height. That should be fine. That one. So easy to mess make too if you're a mess maker. But I struggle to get enough done without mess making, so I'm not going to mess make them. I'm just going to enjoy the process. We're heading into Christmas. I'm just going to kick back, relax, craft along, and hope that you join me and enjoy the process as well. I'm not going to get worried about trying to mess make things at this end of the year. I think it's time. Oops, we need to do our notch. Now, do I risk it? Well, I kind of got the shape, so oh, that one worked well. Maybe I was just holding it wrong the first time. Right, slide that back in, make sure it's in straight. There we go. Right, back with our double-sided tape. I'm going to keep going with the double-sided tape. I'm quite happy with it, and I know it's going to stick. So for me, that's the bone. Well, not the bonus, is the prime importance, is that it stays where I want it, and it's not going to come adrift. Okay. And maybe I'll put the tape on this side as well while I'm here, since it's in my hand. Everyone got sorted for what they're having on Christmas Day to eat. I had a phone conversation with my mum, it would have been last week, and we went over what we were going to have and who was providing what. So that was good. And that one, yep, I'm going to give that a wee trim before I actually do the slants this time. This one's just got a tiny wee hint of white showing. I could have lived with it, but I thought, well, why not? Just give it a trim and be done with it. Okay, so here we go on our little slanty corners. Shall we try something different with this one and try rounding those corners instead? That would be slightly different to what Rachel did, so let's give that a go. It's interesting though because it's not straight. Perhaps we can actually round the corners. It kind of just gives them a slant anyway. So I'm just going to do both of them the same and go, rounding the corners isn't really going to work. Yep, and that one was a complete and utter mess. So there we go. In the interest of public service announcement, don't try rounding the corners when you've already taken that slant off, because it just doesn't work, because you can't put your corner in lined up on both sides because it's slanted. So leave them straight or just do a little cut. So cute, 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 cute. Okay, number 3. What vellum are we going to use on this one? I am thinking stripes, because just stripes or swirls. Swirls is just so pretty. I love it. I want to hoard it. I really want to hoard it. That one kind of looks like the pigs in prison. But I would be doing it this way, so not quite in prison because the bars are going the wrong way. And that's quite cute actually. I don't mind that, so I'm going to fold this in half. Just give it a wee pinch and chop it. Pig in prison. It's a bit different to Pigs in Space. If you're of a generation that remembers the Muppets and Pigs in Space. Although I imagine there's younger people who know about it, because you can watch it on streaming platforms, I think. And I might as well cut it to length as well while I'm here. Let's go that line. Yes. So instead of Pigs in Space, we have Pigs in Prison. It sounds like the adult version, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, I do have some fun with myself sometimes. Saying some crazy things. Crazy things spring to mind. This one has quite a bit of white showing, so take care of that now. I am wondering if I round the corners first and then take the slant out, whether that would, I think it would still look funny. So I'm just going to stick with the snips. Right, no, we're not going for prison. We're going for this way. Okay, so make sure I've got the vellum the right way round, because one side is shiny, the gold is shiny on one side and dull on the other. Right, and then we will have made 3, which is actually pretty good, so they go fairly quickly. Of course, I did do that prep work up front of making sure my papers were cut out, so That saved me a bit of time on camera. Put that vellum out the way. So here we go, snipping the corners. Snip, snip. I don't know how the vellum would react to distressing it with ink. I've never tried it. Right, in with the tape. And let's go around all 3 sides this time before we peel off and stick down. Since it's in my hand, I might as well do all 3 sides. That's part of mess making, isn't it? Not switching out what's in your hand all the time, actually using it to do all the jobs needed at once. Something maybe I'll get better at in 2024. It'd be good if I could, because to increase my productivity on camera would be awesome. But I guess I haven't really, in the scheme of things, been doing YouTube for that long. It's been like a 1.5-ish. So it's just a journey of learning for me. Improving, trying to do better, trying to bring new content, interesting content, trying out new things. Yeah. So definitely the Deal It Up challenge will be continuing into the new year, and I didn't take my thumb notch out, so can I fit this in? I got too keen to stick it down. I might have to try doing it blind. Oh, can I slide it? I'm kind of a bit up in the air about Trashcraft Tuesday, if I'm to be completely honest. I love it. I'm just wondering whether I need to take a break from it. Oh, that worked. Yay. So if you have any feedback on that, if you want me to keep going, if you want me to take a break, or if you don't care, either way, let me know. Even if I don't do it as a regular, I wouldn't do away with it completely, because I love using trash. I'm just wondering whether I should replace it with something new. Not sure. I'm just kind of dabbling with a few ideas. I do have a new challenge starting in January, which is super cool. It's going to be revolving around masterboards, so keep an eye out for that in the first week of January. Can you see that? Can you see a little piggy behind bars? Can you see that? It's cute. Cute. So we have made 3 in less than half an hour with a lot of talking. Right, so I think we're finished with the double-sided tape. We'll put that aside. Shall we decorate one up? Which one shall we decorate? I'm feeling like this one needs decorating, because it's just got like part of a window. It's not terribly exciting, is it? And this side you could write on it, but we could decorate it as well. Actually, what I'm wondering, I might go a bit rogue here. How about if we add a little pocket onto the back? Because we've got this snippet. I don't think I'd use the sideways bicycle, but we have enough there that we could make a little pocket on the back. How about that for a little switcheroony on Rachel's idea? And we've got the scrap, so why not? I do want to reinforce the top of it, so I'm just going to grab a strip of plain white paper that's cut off from cutting out digitals, and going to cut a piece off like so. I'm going to glue that onto the top. And this will just reinforce the top of it so it doesn't tear in its lifespan, or less likely to tear with things going in and out of the pocket. So which way up do we want it? That way or that way? I think that way. Probably end up covering the majority of it anyway, decorating, but oops, dirty mark from the glue on my fingers, but it's alright because it's on the underside, so won't be a problem. Now I shouldn't punch it right now because I've only just glued it, but I'm living dangerously, and I just took a little snippet out, so I should consider at this point whether I do want to distress. And I think I do want to distress at least the top of this pocket, and it will be much harder to do once it's down. I feel like it's will disappear a bit much if I don't, and I'm going to go right around it actually. So this one I probably will end up distressing the whole thing. You know, sometimes it's a case of if you do a bit, it's like, where do you stop? And the answer is often you don't. Okay, so that is going to go over top of the vellum. So I am going to use, oh, someone's getting very tooty outside. I'm going to use my tacky glue, and let's see how well it works on top of the vellum. Should be fine. I imagine it's fine, but just not having really done it, I'm not positive. It is similar to tracing paper, which I do use, so anticipating that it will be fine because tracing paper works fine with the tacky glue. Here we go. So now we have our little envelope here and a little pocket on the back, and you've still got some writing space here if you would like some writing space. Okay, right, what would I like to decorate this up with? It's a floral theme, like it's got flowers, but it's also a little what do I want to say, grungy in look. This kit, there's the first one I ever produced, and it is kind of more on the grungy side, but it's taken from my own photographs, which do not look like they do in this kit. That, like, I really messed with them. We sip on my coffee while I think. Sorry about my squeaky chair too. Maybe over the Christmas break, maybe I can get hubby to give it an oil. Yeah, probably not. Okay. I haven't pulled these out for ages, it feels like. These are my flowers from Artsology. Do I want to decorate that up, or do I just want to decorate up the flap? Too big, too big. These might all be too big. Here's one where I've just cut out the flower itself. That would actually, is the colour right? Maybe the colour's not right. That colour would work better. This is one where my printer misprinted. The cyan didn't work, so it's very yellowy, and this digital is quite yellowy. Can we fit it on there? Is it? I think it's a bit borderline, but if I'm careful, it's sideways, like it's supposed to go up, it's supposed to go this way, but I don't actually mind it sideways, and yes, it will work, so I'm going to go with that. And I definitely want some book page or music or something. Just hunting through my pack of book page text here. Looking for something the right orientation and sort of a colour that I think will be nice. This is very small writing from a old hymnal. Take that. I thought I was going to use the other side, but I thought actually this side's slightly better. It hasn't got the gap in the middle of the text. Okay. Let's glue that on. How's my glue page? I don't want to risk sticking it to my glue page because it would tear being so thin. No, good as gold. I found a non-gluey patch. Just perfect. Okay, give this a little ink. Oh, somebody sent me a message. My phone's on the other side of the room charging, and I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb, so it's probably hubby. He worked late last night, my poor man. He didn't get home till almost 7 o'clock last night. Normally he's home at 5:30. So, yeah, he had a big day and short-staffed in the week leading up till Christmas. Not a great time to be short-staffed because the customers tend to go a bit nuts. You know, it's like, oh, I've got to order in all the things that I'm going to want when I come back to work, because they supply to other businesses. So buy everything that we need so that when we come back to work in January, we've got everything ready to go. So the last week tends to be like, oh, we're running out of time, we better get that done now. So it tends to be quite a busy week for them. In the first part of the week, it should ease off towards the end of the week where people are like, well, it's too late now. Or the odd one here and there will order for next year, but sort of without the crazy volume generally. So hopefully that will happen and he won't have to do such big hours for the whole week. Right, there we go. And a word or a label. Let's go and see if we've got a stamped word that might suit. Use a today. Yep, I like that. Just nice and simple. Bit of glue stick. Well, I made it through this video without too much throat clearing, and I don't think I coughed at all, did I? I don't remember coughing, but my apologies if I did. Here we go. Cute. And like, I can't not. I've got to ink it. I just think it's going to look better, particularly this paper. It's got that grungy sort of vintage old vibe. I think really will respond well to a bit of ink. Oops, I didn't press that down very well. Yeah, that ink is just looking really nice around the edges there. And I'm not going to try doing the vellum. I'm just going to do the paper. So I wonder what all the toots were about on the street. Somebody was busy tooting. So all there is left to do is to fill it, and I'm not going to do that in this video because I would run over time, and I ran over time yesterday, so let's try and keep that to a minimum. So we made 3, and all I've got to do is fill them with something, and then I've got this one with the little pocket on the back that we can also tuck a tag or journal card into. So hope you enjoyed this project. It is a lot of fun. So if you don't have vellum, you could use tracing paper, or if you don't have tracing paper, you could do the pocket with anything. You just perhaps won't have that see-through effect the same if you use something else. But I'm sure you'll find something that you can use. Super cute, super fun, really easy to put together, and I think very effective. So thanks so much for joining me. I'll be back again with another video tomorrow. Take care, everybody. And if you don't have time to pop back between now and Christmas, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. Take care, my friends. Bye for now.